Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Making Art with Mrs. M. As you can see off over to the left that I have a very simple landscape. Landscapes are fun to draw, and especially seasonal landscapes, especially like fall. The trees are so beautiful in fall. So I want to get started and show you how I came up with this idea. It's you see lots of hills here, and you see three trees. And the trees are very simple and easy to draw, but they're all different sizes. One is large, one is medium, one is small. And I made them different sizes so that you can tell which one is near and which is far, and which one is sort of far. So we're going to go through the steps of how to do this together. And we're going to first start with our big tree, which is in the foreground. Now, landscapes have three parts. Whoa, this is big. The foreground is the part of the landscape that is closest to us, where things appear to be bigger. And things get smaller in the middle ground. And the middle ground is higher up on the page. It's across the middle of the page, therefore it gets the name middle ground. And then the things in the background are the things that are further away in the distance, and they are further back in the background. Okay, so let's talk about how we did this. I'm going to start by first making a little hill here. So the curved line from the side there over to the middle. And then I'm going to draw a tree. I'm going to keep it really simple. Okay, two straight lines up. Now what I always like to do is make my trees look sort of like the letter Y. So I'm going to go up and out like this, like that, and then I'm going to come down and back up to connect. So this tree now looks sort of like the letter Y. I'm going to make the leaves on this tree go all the way to the very top of the page, near the top of the page. Now I'm just using a bumpy line. Some bumps are big and some are small. I feel like the variety in using different lines makes it just look more interesting. So if I use big bumps and little bumps and mix it up, I think it just looks more interesting that way. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is going to add hill after hill and go further and further and higher on the page. So let's do that now. I'll add one here to the right and one in the middle. Now the next one that I add is going to go behind this tree. So I'm going to go up, and when I get to the tree, I stop and skip over and keep coming down. And add more hills. Okay, this is where we stop and add another tree. And this tree is going to be shorter than this tree. It's going to look a lot like this one, but it's going to be a little bit smaller. Okay. Same steps. Make it look like the letter Y. This tree, I'm going to make the top of it much rounder. These leaves I made look much taller. This one, I'm just going to make it rounder. There. All right. Let's keep going. I'm going to add more hills, and one that goes behind this tree keeps going that way. And let's go another one here that goes up and behind this tree, and then another hill in the middle. You can sort of see the pattern going on here. Lastly, I'm going to put, maybe this time I'll add two smaller trees. Yeah, two smaller trees off in the distance. I want the top of them to look like the letter Y, so I make some lines that lean out and then come down and back up and connect. Down and back and connect. And small trees. but actually the trees are probably the exact same size. Cool. So these trees are smaller than this one. All right. And the last thing I'll do is add a few clouds in the sky behind the trees. This one's sort of coming from behind this tree. Oh, I think that's enough. I think that's enough. So in the foreground, we have things here that are going to be bigger, like this tree, which is connected to the foreground area, and it's bigger on the page. Things in the middle ground will be a little bit smaller than the foreground, and things in the background will be much smaller. And actually, in real life, all these trees are probably actually the same size. I'm going to show you what I did about coloring. I found that it's more fun to add more colors and mix colors even. So I'm going to grab some colors that are related. Let's see. They are definitely related. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So I have a yellow green, green, and blue green. And these will all be great for coloring the ground, all the different layers we have here. I'm not going to make any particular area just yellow by itself, but sometimes grass can look yellowish. So what I like to do sometimes I'll color a color just by itself. So for demonstration purposes, I'll just do green in this area right here. Just green by itself. But next to this one, I want to have a completely different color. Now when I colored this, I had my giant crayon box with all colors of green, all different variations of green, but I don't have that right now. I'm kind of limited. And so sometimes as an artist, you have to improvise. Okay, so now when I color this area, I'm going to color with the green, but I'm going to color with a softer touch. And because I'm going to mix another color with it. Yes. So I'm going to use this yellow green with it. And mix this in. And then you add layers of color and just makes your painting, your drawing. I said painting because I'm thinking about how we mix colors when we're painting, and that's exactly what I'm doing here with the crayons. It's almost like painting. I guess we can call this painting with crayons because we're mixing colors. And so now we have these two different kinds of green here, and that's so fun, that's so wonderful. Okay, now I'm going to do green with yellow. And I think it's going to look a little similar to what we have already over there, but the only way to find out is to try it. Oh, this yellow looks much brighter though. The yellow is much brighter than that yellow green. Wow. So there's lots of different ways that you can add color to your artwork. Wow. And see, those are 3 different kinds of green there. And the color is just so beautiful. When I did these trees here, and I added red and violet red here and swirled it around to make it look leafish. And same thing here with the orange and red orange. I used those. And even in the sky, I used a light blue and a little bit of purple, and I lightly colored with it because I never want to see a dark blue or dark purple sky. I think that would be very scary. It would feel like the world was ending or something. So I'm off to finish coloring this one. I never like to leave my artwork undone, and I'd like for you to give this a try. And remember what I always say, I'm going to say it every time, art makes you smart. Art does. It really does make you smart. And so thank you for visiting with me. This is Mrs. M signing off for this time and saying come back again, join me again, and we'll make some more cool stuff. Good luck with your landscapes.